Good morning. My name is John. For those of you that don't know me, I'm putting this lesson on today as a free lesson. Something that I thought, what was I rubbish at when I was young? And what am I not always great at even today? Although I'm a lot better, I think. Time management. Now, I've actually been on quite a few courses for time management when I used to work for a previous company. So I'm going to use some of the things I've learned that I'm hoping will come across to you. And if anything in this lesson helps you at all, then that's brilliant. So I've done some research into this. I've got a few good videos to share as well, some other tips. So some of these tips you might think, nah, rubbish. Some of these things you might think, I'll try that. And I'll add a few things from my own personal experience as well. So hopefully it will be good for you and maybe help you too. So the title of this lesson is Time Management. Take control of your time. So we're going to look at some practical tips as well to help master your time. Whether you're a student, like it says here, juggling homework and hobbies, or an adult balancing work and family. I know as a family man myself with four children, it can be very difficult sometimes trying to fit everything in. In fact, sometimes it's like you're juggling and things are going to get dropped and whatever. So it isn't easy. So I'm hoping that this lesson will equip you with some powerful tools to make every moment count. Time is one resource, isn't it, that we can never get back. So let's use it wisely. And there's an old saying in English as well, isn't there, that time is money. What does that mean? Well, time is valuable, isn't it? And, we don't want to waste it. And I don't know about you, but I think in today's society, we can certainly waste a lot of time. I know I certainly have done in the past. So again, how can this help you? Hopefully, let's have a look. Let's see what we can do. So here's a little video, first of all, to get some ideas. Have a look at this.
Preparing for college. Preparing for college.
Right, let me just pause it for a second. So this one, so I'm going to show you two videos. The first one, this is for people studying, so maybe going to college or university or something like that later on. But the principles are the same for every walk of life, really. Have a look, see what you think.
Many of us hear about time management. We hear advice like make checklists, keep a schedule, practice good study habits, yada yada, yawn. Sure, all these suggestions are helpful, but they're just a piece of the time management plan, and they don't fit everyone. Manage your time and schoolwork will be easier? It sounds good. The reality, it's been easy getting by without a plan. But the further we move in our education, the higher the stakes. We are betting that we could meet our GPA goals without healthy study habits. Classes get harder and you may find yourself drowning in challenging coursework. And you never bother learning how to swim. How to form good study habits? First, stop comparing yourself to your friends. Think they get good grades without studying? Nope. You need to find out what works for you. And cramming like a hibernating chipmunk is not the solution. So, where to begin? Know thyself. There is no magic bullet for finding the right routine. The first thing you need to learn is how you learn. Prioritization is key, and it's an easy first step. Create a list of activities that occupy your time and rank them from highest to lowest priority. From there, you can begin managing your time. You are responsible for your success in college. Chances are, your friends aren't looking out for your grades. If they want to hang out, you have to decide, do you actually have time or do you have schoolwork? Start now. You may not have a perfect system, and systems can change. That's perfectly fine. The more you learn now about how you learn, the easier things will be. Halfway through a semester and unhappy with your grades? Ouch. That's a tough time to change your game plan. Plan early and spare yourself the grief. We've got good news. All around campus are people who can help you understand how you learn. Literally, there are resources all over campus designed to help you. Office hours provide insight for tackling a class head on. Learning centers help with all subjects and all course levels. Schedule meeting times with supportive peers. It's a surefire way to ensure accountability.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that first of all. If there were some really good tips in there, I thought. From what I got from that video, and again, you might want to pause it, watch it again, because I've seen it a few times now, is he talked about being disciplined with yourself. And it's certainly true, isn't it? So it starts with yourself. You have to prioritize what is important. I liked what he said actually about, say you're studying and you're going out with mates, they're not really caring about your grades, are they? So you have to kind of prioritize and think to yourself, well, what's important to you? Are you more interested in having a good time, for instance, than passing exams? So you have to kind of think to yourself, well, you have to be strict on yourself, maybe. So he talked about making a list. Now, I remember when I used to work for a bank years ago, and one of the sort of assistant managers said to me, write things down, John. So write things down on a list, prioritize, make sure that you know what, the important things, get them done now if it's vital. Less important things, still get them done, but they're not as urgent, maybe. And I liked what you said as well. For instance, if, like in this instance, in the video, he was talking about colleges and things, there are people there that can help you that are trained professionals. So, like faculties, in other words, like teachers, staff, whatever, they're trained to help you. If you're stuck, ask for help as well. So, there are different areas to get assistance there. So, right,
People who are
here's another video. This is another one more generalized. So, see what you can get from this video too.
successful both at work and at home manage their time well. One of the first steps towards successful time management is to identify how you spend your time. Try keeping a log of how you spend your day. Write down how much time you spend doing things like working, watching television, or running errands. Once you have a record of how you spend a typical day, follow these steps to learn to manage your time more effectively. First, make a list of your tasks. Then, estimate how much time you spend on each task. Eliminate unnecessary tasks from your list. In some cases, you may be able to delegate tasks to other people. Prioritize your tasks by numbering them in order of importance. If you have difficulty establishing what's most important, ask yourself what on the list is absolutely necessary to fulfill your needs. Small changes to your daily routine can also help free up more of your time. Getting up just an hour earlier can make a big difference in how your day is structured. You have more time for life's unplanned emergencies, such as car trouble, childcare issues, sickness, or miscellaneous errands. TVs, computers, and mobile devices can be a distraction when they're not being used for anything productive. Consider limiting how much time you spend using them. Keep a calendar of important professional and personal appointments and events. Whether it's a desk planner or a smartphone app, choose the type that will be easiest for you to maintain on a regular basis. Practicing effective time management will allow you to spend more time on the things that matter to you most, whether it's a hobby, time with family and friends, or even just some more time for yourself.
Okay, so again, some really good tips there. So I'm just going to skip on to the next slide. I like what she said about, well, you might not like it, and sometimes it's not very good, but she talked about getting maybe up an hour earlier a day. So if you can be disciplined again to do that, and you notice a lot of the things I'm saying, or they're saying in the video here as well, is about being disciplined of yourself. So if you can get up an hour earlier a day, obviously it's going to be hard maybe, but it can free up more time and get things done. Obviously you want to be productive in that time. You don't want to just maybe put on the TV or just play computer games, because then you kind of defeated the point as well. One thing my youngest son did yesterday was that he was struggling with something that he was trying to do. So he decided to go for a walk for 10 minutes and just clear his head. And then just walked, with outside in the countryside a little bit, came back, and then it actually worked for him. So time management could even be things like that, where you can just go for a little walk, pause what you're doing, and then he managed to get all his work done as well. So that was maybe another little tip as well there. So obviously we looked at in the video a little bit, we're going to go into further details about priority. So master the difference between urgent and important tasks using some methods. So I'm going to introduce some things that I hadn't heard of before. I'm going to introduce them to you, see what you think. You can either think they're rubbish or try them. Something called the Eisenhower Matrix. Learn at least 2 practical time management methods that you can use immediately. I like this one. Minimize time wasters. Identify and eliminate your personal habits that steal precious time. A couple of things that I've eliminated in my life a little bit, or tried to. And I'm 53 now, so maybe I'm a little bit older than some of you. Again, I'm not perfect at all, and I still haven't really done this properly. But I don't know about you, but I get so many spam calls. I just don't pick up the call now. I just think if it's important, they'll message me back, and then I'll contact them. But otherwise, I'll just be literally picking up my phone all day, wasting time talking to people I don't really want to talk to. So I've minimized that. Even with regards to meetings, having meetings about meetings, for business meetings, for instance, people just love to have meetings, and I just hate wasting time. So could it maybe be done on Zoom? Could it maybe be done as a message or an email? If it can be, you've wasted an hour, you've saved an hour traveling, maybe an hour sitting there just listening to someone going on about something you've already spoken about and not been done before. So I used to do that a lot in the business I used to do before. And in the end, I was thinking, we're just going round and round in circles here. So try and, if you can see something like that, then maybe you can cut that out as well, because obviously it steals your precious time as well. So hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll have personalized action. You'll have had a personalized action plan to transform how you manage your time. These aren't just theories, they're battle-tested strategies used by successful people worldwide, and that is true. So, and even me, I said I'm not perfect and I'm far from it. Some of these things I've put into my life and they've saved me a lot of time. One thing I tried to do recently is, sometimes you can, and it'll get mentioned in a slide in a minute, you're scrolling through like, social media or something like that, or playing games on your phone or your computer. Okay, it's nice to have a bit of downtime sometimes, but it can get over the top, can't it? It can stop you from doing important tasks as well. So I've tried to minimize and cut out in some places some things like that. So you might be thinking now, no, but if you want to get things done, it's a good idea. So where does our time actually go? So we need to understand where it goes. And that's why I talked about in the video about writing things down. Most of us, including me, dramatically underestimate how long tasks take and overestimate how productive they are. So we're going to look at some of these clearly. So this is, I mentioned this a minute ago, the Eisenhower box or matrix. So named after the US President Dwight Eisenhower. Okay. And it will maybe help us. So you might want to copy this and do this. It's up to you. Again, these are just suggestions. I'll be honest, I'm not going to use this one, but I don't need to. I think if I was going through my life again and I got told this as a 16, 18-year-old or 20-year-old, I might give it a go, to be honest. So, and this interestingly says, urgent doesn't always mean important. And that is true, isn't it? Because just because it's urgent for someone doesn't mean it's important for you. Okay. And then, so important tasks often aren't urgent until they become a crisis or crises. So understanding this distinction is transformative. It prevents you from spending your life putting out fires whilst neglecting the activities that lead to real success and fulfillment. So in other words, you could be doing something that, say you're a business person and you're trying to make money, you're trying to do sales or whatever it might be. And you might be thinking, well, I'll deal with this, I'll deal with this. It's not actually making you anything good for your business. So you should be maybe doing this less, doing something else that's more productive, more. Okay. So in this box, you've got urgent, important. So do it now if it's both those things. If it's not urgent, but important, you've got to decide, schedule a time to do it. If it's urgent and not important, you can delegate. What does that mean? Well, ask someone else to do it, basically, who can do it for you. Or if it's not urgent and not important, can you delete it? Can you eliminate it completely? Maybe you could. I noticed on the video, the first video, it said watching TV 1 hour, or the second video, she just crossed it out. So could you delete that? You've just now saved yourself 1 hour. Ooh, pretty good, eh? Unless it's your favorite film or TV program. But it's true, isn't it? So the 4 quadrants, I don't know if I have to explain this, but I'm going to read it anyway. So obviously urgent and important. So description, crises, deadlines, emergencies, broken equipment. Obviously you feel stressed, so do it now. Not urgent and important. So maybe planning, revision, exercise, relationships, prevention of something. Maybe you're feeling sort of a sense of fulfillment. So schedule it. Put it in a schedule. Urgent and not important. So interruptions, some emails, certain meetings, other priorities. You may be feeling distracted. Can you delegate it? Could someone else do it? Can you send someone else to do it maybe? Not urgent, not important. So maybe time wasting, excessive gaming, endless scrolling, busy work. You're feeling, oh, it's waste. So can you get rid of some of these things? So the goal could be to spend more time in the second quadrant of not urgent and important. This is where success happens. Through planning, prevention, and building strong foundations, people who excel spend 65% of more of their time here. So scientific study has proven that if you're in this box here, the second one, that this can actually be really good and could lead to success too. So that's interesting, isn't it? Again, remember these are ideas, okay? So try for yourself, draw a matrix, fill each quadrant and reflect honestly. So there's no point doing this if you're not going to be honest with yourself. So for some examples, maybe revising for exams next month could belong in the not urgent and important, maybe. Finishing homework due tomorrow is now urgent and important. Watching random videos falls into not urgent and not important. So try that out and see what you think. From theory to action then. So understanding priorities is crucial, isn't it? But you also need to, you need concrete techniques to implement that knowledge. So we're going to now look at some proven methods for scheduling your time and maintaining laser-like focus. These aren't complicated, they're refreshingly simple tools to work. So let's have a look. So can we test ourselves? So instead of then, so time blocking, schedule everything. So I like this. You've got a diary. I've got a diary in front of me. I do this a lot now and it really does help. So instead of keeping a loose to-do list, so again, I do that as well. I write things down. Schedule tasks directly into your calendar like appointments. This forces realistic planning about how long activities take. So make your workload visible and tangible. Another thing I do is I tick things when I've done it as well. And just seeing ticks on your page after the day, you give you a little bit of a buzz because you think I've achieved all of that. Okay, it can also be the opposite if you haven't ticked them, but then it should motivate you to think, I want to tick these things off as well. So prevent overcommitting. Your calendar shows available hours. So if you put too many things on there, you're not going to get that done. Reduces decision fatigue. You know what's next. Yeah, on your list, on your diary. And also it accounts for breaks, meals, and rest, because we all need to have a break, don't we? Otherwise, we're going to burn ourselves out. Remember, the word recreation really means recreation. So to recreate yourself. So rest and recreation is very, very important, isn't it? Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out. This one's called the Pomodoro technique. Interestingly, so like the tomato, which we're going to see in a minute. So this, I'm going to show you a little video. Actually, let me show you the video first. So here's the video.
This is a Pomodoro. This is a Pomodoro timer. This is the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is a simple yet very effective way to improve your work and study habits. The basic requirement of this technique is to set a kitchen timer to 25 minutes. But this is just the beginning. In order to become a certified Pomodoro master, you need to achieve the following 6 objectives. First, find out how much effort an activity requires you by monitoring how many Pomodoros you need in order to accomplish a specific task. Second, learn to protect your Pomodoro from the internal and external interruptions. Third, make accurate estimations of how many Pomodoros you need for a certain activity. Fourth, use your Pomodoro time not just to work on your task, but spend a few minutes for recap and the last ones for review. Fifth, set a timetable according to your to-dos, to your time, or even to the season. This is good for organising work and also for creating more free time. Sixth, once you have completed these objectives, find your own personal objective, such as being more efficient or improving the quality of your work. For example, a writer could track more accurately what he's doing during a Pomodoro, or a team may want to find out how good its cooperation is. But remember, you have to choose your own final objective. In order to achieve the best results, the objectives should be done incrementally. In other words, if you didn't complete an objective, don't move ahead to the next one. Continue trying to do better with the current objective until you feel that you've mastered it. For more in-depth tips, read the original book, record your progress, and become a certified Pomodoro master.
Okay, so this is actual technique then, as we've just seen from the video. So here we go. So it works on a timer system, like the video said. So 25 minutes, so one focused Pomodoro work session begins. This reminds me of the rondo type thing that you do in football when you do like a passing exercise. But anyway, so like you said in the video, focus on one thing. Okay, single task focus with complete concentration. Then have a 5-minute break. Stand, stretch, look away from the screens, whatever it might be. Go for a walk, maybe like even my son did. And then repeat this 4 times. So after 4 Pomodoros, take 20 to 30 minutes off. And this technique then is brilliant for overcoming procrastination. So what is procrastination? Well, if someone keeps saying, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, this gets you doing it straight away. So 25 minutes does feel manageable, doesn't it? Even for tasks that we dread. Let's be honest, we all put things to the back of the queue if it's something we're not really planning or wanting to do. But the timer creates urgency without overwhelming pressure. And then there was this book that was talked about. It's by Francesco Cirillo, who invented this in the late 1980s using a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, hence the name Pomodoro, Italian for tomato. Okay, so that's where it all come from, and that's why there was a tomato in the picture, in the video.
This
Good. Now, how could you do it in practice? So if you're a student, you could use Pomodoros for homework maybe, or revision sessions. Brilliant for revision. Say you got to learn something like a test or something, maybe a spelling test. I don't know, whatever it could be. Set yourself a Pomodoro to have a go, test yourself. Challenge yourself to complete 2 Pomodoros on your least favorite subject. You'd be amazed how much you accomplish in just 50 minutes of focused work. I've actually done this, but not actually thinking it was the Pomodoro effect. And it does really work, actually. So I really recommend this. For an adult, well, perfect for clearing your email inbox, working on difficult projects, or tackling administrative tasks that you've been avoiding. The breaks prevent burnout. Where are we? So, whilst the timer maintains momentum as well. So it's some good advice here. So some tips here. During your Pomodoro, if a distracting thought appears, e.g. I need to phone mum, quickly jot it down and return to your tasks. That's a great idea. Or you might think of something, oh man, I forgot to do this. Just write it down, carry on. You'll handle it during your break. This external brain prevents you from losing ideas whilst protecting your focus. Because let's be honest, we all get distracted, don't we? I've looked out the window a couple of times, even doing this lesson. So now, your phone is not your friend. You're probably going to hate me for saying that, but it's true, isn't it? Research shows the average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes during waking hours. Each interruption costs you far more than the seconds spent glancing at the screen. It takes an average of 23 minutes to regain full concentration after a distraction. That's terrible, isn't it? So your top time thieves, write down the 3 things that steal your time most often. For most people, the list includes smartphones, social media, and unnecessary meetings or conversations. It's true, isn't it? So what about doing some of these then as well? So this is another one, the focus box solution. So create physical distance, design a focus box, a drawer, a cupboard, or separate room for your phone and tablet during work sessions. Put them in there. I know some people have a rule of no mobiles on the dinner table, and that's a good idea. Otherwise, you don't talk, do you, as well? Use digital barriers, install website blockers on your phone, your computer. Freedom, cold turkey, stay focused, in other words, to prevent access to time-wasting sites. Notify others, tell family or colleagues about your focus time so they respect your boundaries and don't interrupt unnecessarily. Schedule check-ins rather than constant availability. Check messages at set times. For instance, you could say at 10 o'clock, I'm going to check my emails 1 and 4. That's it. So you stay responsive without being reactive. It's difficult on things like WhatsApp, isn't it? Because you get the message and then you kind of like, once you clicked on it, if you don't respond, you might forget. So it might be a good idea just not to click on it for a while. So remember, every notification is someone else's agenda interrupting yours. Protect your attention as fiercely as you protect your wallet. That's a great bit of advice, isn't it? What about this one? Measure to improve. Time management isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing practice that requires regular evaluation and adjustment. The techniques that work brilliantly for one person might not suit another. This chapter gives you tools to assess what's working and make evidence-based improvements to your approach. Okay. What about this one? The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. So the principle, Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto discovered that roughly, do you like my Italian accent there? That roughly 80% of results come from 20% of effort. This applies remarkably consistently across domains. 80% of sales come from 20% of customers, 80% of problems stem from 20% of causes, and 80% of your success comes from 20% of your activities. Nice. The implication, you should ruthlessly identify and focus on the vital few activities that drive your success, whilst minimizing or eliminating the trivial many that consume time without delivering proportional results. True, isn't it? So we've got a little chart here, pie chart, donut chart, whatever you want to call it. how a small proportion of efforts generate most outcomes. Your goal is to identify and amplify your vital 20%. So maybe in your life, there's trivial things for 80% of your time, but vital is only 20%. It's so true, isn't it? I remember doing football coaching as well. And I said once about 75 to 80%, I believe, of being a good sportsman or footballer, a lot of it's down to confidence. And if you can do that, then the 20% of your kind of ability or skills will be enhanced as well. I think as well. That's the way I used to think, and from what I saw from my years of coaching too. What about this as a self-test then? Write down last week's activities. Write down 5 significant things you worked on during the past week. Identify the vital one. Circle the single item that contributed most to your important goal, whether it was maybe getting good grades, project success, health, whatever it might be. Calculate your time. Did you spend 80% of your time on that vital activity, or was it scattered across less important tasks? So then adjust your priorities. Reorganize your schedule to allocate significantly more time to high impact activities. So this is interesting, isn't it? Most people find they spend only 20 to 30% of their time on their vital 20% activities. The rest is consumed by busy work, interruptions, and the urgent but not important. This realization is often shocking and liberating at the same time. So I'm hoping at the end of this lesson, you might think, oh, wow. And if you do it, you might think, wow, I've actually really made a big difference in my life. Hopefully you can. That's the point of this. I'm hoping it will help you. Okay, let's have a look a bit more. Eat the frog method. So this was from Mark Twain, popularized by Brian Tracy. He said this: if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. I'd rather not eat any frogs myself, but yeah. So your frog, in this instant, is your biggest, ugliest, most difficult task, okay? The one you're most likely to procrastinate on, or not do, or put off. It's also usually the tasks that will make the biggest difference to your success. Completing it first thing provides enormous physiological relief and energy, and psychological too, for the rest of the day. Conversely, avoiding your frog creates anxiety that shadows your entire day. Now, I know many people, I suffer from anxiety sometimes as well, but doing this can minimize or even get rid of anxiety. So that's good, isn't it? Because if you know it's lurking, it's going to make you anxious for the whole time, isn't it? Every other task then that feels like procrastination, the frog grows larger and more intimidating in your mind. True, isn't it? Sometimes we build things up as this massive thing. If we just deal with it straight away, kind of clears the hurdle straight away. So hopefully that helped. So how to eat your frog with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of sauce. So evening identification. Before leaving work or going to bed, maybe identify tomorrow's frog. Be specific, not work on project, but write introduction section. So in other words, morning execution. Commit to starting your frog within the first 30 minutes of your workday or study time before checking emails or messages. No multitasking. Give the frog your complete undivided attention. Remove all distractions. Use a Pomodoro if that helps. Celebrate completion. Acknowledge your accomplishment. You've done the hardest thing. Everything else will feel easier by comparison. It's true, isn't it? If you do that, if you eat your frog, you beat your big problem, achieve it, you're going to feel pretty chuffed a bit of yourself, and rightly so as well. You've just eaten a frog. Now, by the way, if anybody eats a frog really in this and tells me, John, I ate my frog, I'm not going to be happy with you, because I'm not telling you to eat a figure. This is figurative, isn't it? Not literal. So please don't eat your frogs, okay? Unless you want to, of course. But anyway, your time management toolkit. So remember the matrix. Focus on what's important, whether urgent or not. Spend most of your time in quadrant 2, planning, preventing, building. Be a time scientist. Experiment with techniques like Pomodoro and time blocking. Track what works for your unique brain and schedule. I've said it differently, but each time, haven't I? So we're all unique, aren't we? That's the thing. So I like this because one tool doesn't fit all, does it? You might like something different to what I like. Someone else might think that doesn't work for me, but this works for me. None of these things might work for you, but maybe you can take a little bit of something out of everything. Who knows? We're all different. Start small. Choose one habit to change this week. Perhaps no phone for your first 25 minutes of work, or identifying your daily frog. Small wins create momentum, isn't it? Like if you're in a sports team and you keep losing, it's harder to win. But if you win, suddenly winning becomes a habit and you get momentum. Review regularly. Be honest as well. So where did my time actually go? Did I spend it on my vital 20%? If not, what will I adjust next week? So time management, and this is why it's so important, I think, is ultimately about life management. It's not about squeezing more tasks into your day. It's about making conscious choices aligned with what truly matters to you and me. Okay, so it's very important, isn't it? So that's why. So anyway, if you want to have a go at these questions, maybe have a look at these. So maybe try and draw your own matrix. Now, these are things I want you to do for yourself, really, to help yourself. So have a look at those. Just pause the video. I'm not going to read them all out. And these are some sample answers to help you as well. So if you want to make a screenshot of that or have a go at that, and then when I'm recording, pause it, and here's some sample answers and see, compare it to what you wrote down and see how you got on as well. So my take on this, well, my finalization in summary, what I would say about time management is I've definitely taken on myself. I'm 53 now, so I'm a little bit older and wiser, maybe, or definitely older than some of you. So what have I put into practice in my life? Well, have a diary, write down things, schedule things. So then you're more likely to do them. Have maybe a to-do list as well. Certainly prioritize things as well. Try not to procrastinate as well. One of the biggest things I find, especially for me being older, is that maybe I forget. So what I've done on my phone is I've got a WhatsApp group that I set up with myself. So I'm very sad. And I've called it a to-do list. So I've written things on there. When I've done that thing, I delete it as well. So I've got kind of like a double check as well. Again, up to you, but it might help you. It's helped me. I think I'm better at time management now than I ever was. Still not perfect, but so I'm going to try some of these techniques myself. So if I know you, let me know or put in the comments if this video has helped you. If it hasn't helped you, I'm sorry. I hope it does, but try. Some of the things might help you as well, some of the suggestions. But if you like this video, please give it a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. I will be putting the odd free one on as we go on as well. And I do provide other lessons that I charge a nominal fee for too. But this one I just thought I'd do as a free. So I think it's very important for everyone to know about and to try and help you like it's helped me in my life too. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining the class. I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully, more importantly, that this helps you as well. Thank you. See you later.